I'd been in the job for 3 years and it was a good gig. Paid well, had great benefits. I was in a team that worked incredibly well together. But then I heard from a very reliable source that my role was going to be made redundant. The company had been good to me, so to try and stay, I applied for an internal move to a different role. It was going to be in a new space, and while it would require me to travel, it would only be a couple of days a month. Something I was quite passionate about, so this felt like a perfect solution. A way to keep my career on track without sacrificing my family life. But once I was in the role, the reality was dramatically different. That travel quickly ballooned and it became clear that I'd be on the road most of the time, missing huge chunks of time with my son and my wife. Not exactly something I was happy about. I realised that I was about to start missing those important moments, trading them for a sterile hotel room. And so I had to make a choice. Stay in a job that would take me away from my family or quit. The decision was no longer if I should leave, but what we should do now that the decision had been made for me. Do I jump right back on the same hamster wheel? Or do we see this as a scary but rare opportunity to reset? We chose to reset. We decided I would use this time to spend as much time as possible with my son while he's so young, lean on our savings as a cushion, and focus on 2 things at once. Looking for a job that aligned with my values while also trying to build a small business from scratch. And then reality hit. First there's the money fear. That's the most real, most immediate anxiety. When you have a steady paycheck, you don't appreciate the psychological safety net it gives you. You just know that on a specific day, money shows up, but now I watch our savings account like a hawk. Every grocery bill and every electric bill feels like a countdown timer, piling on the pressure to find work or make this business succeed. Come on you little girl here. Little girl here. Yeah. Morning, how are you? Can I just get an Americano to go, please?
Do you want regular or large?
Just regular, please. Cheers, thank you.
Hi.
Then there's the emotional grind of the search. Progress is painfully slow, both in the job front and the new business. And it feels like 1 step forward and maybe 2 steps back and a whole lot of treading water. You send out a dozen resumes, but hear nothing back. Launch something new for the business, and it's just crickets. And in those quiet moments, my brain asks the same questions. Am I employable anymore? Did I mistake a hobby for a job? And am I failing my family? But then, right before things start to feel too heavy, something small happens. One day, as I walked into the kitchen, I was greeted by my son and my wife's arms. They were both looking right at me, and then they both started waving. It was one of his first times waving, and in that moment, I realized what I would have lost. I wouldn't have been there to see that. I would have received a text, maybe a blurry video, while I was sitting in a different country. I would have been missing his childhood, one fleeting moment at a time. In that one moment, the anxiety about the money didn't disappear, but the doubt did. That gnawing question of did I make the right choice finally went silent. Seeing my son wave for me for the first time, I knew this is where I was supposed to be. That moment wouldn't pay a bill, but it was proof that this path, as terrifying as it is, was the correct one. What's not lost on me is the fact that all the emotions I've shared are worries about the future, about what might happen. Intellectually, I know I should focus only on those things that I can control, but it's tough to dampen that voice of anxiety. But what I'm learning is doubt will always be part of the problem if you're not 100% sure as to what ground you've actually made those decisions from. I talk a lot about creating your ideal life as something good to aim for in a positive way, but it's arguably more important when things aren't going so well too. Knowing what's truly important to me means that I'm not sitting here filled with regret, and so for that, I am so grateful. I'm sharing this not because I have the answers, but because I know I can't be the only one feeling this. We've all read those stories online of glorious freedom or overnight success, but the messy middle, the part that's filled with doubt and fear and anxiety, well, that's probably where most of us are living. As for me, well, I'm just going to keep showing up, keep building, one terrifying but glorious day at a time. See you in the next video. Peace.